everybody. So sorry about that. We had a bit of a technical issue. We're not sure if the start of this chat went up when we thought it would or not. We're just going to sort of restart, go again from the top. So if you're just tuning in for the start of this video, hi, welcome. I'm Georgia. I'm the secretary with the Australia Alopecia Areata Foundation. We're here with our lovely volunteers members at the annual general meeting, and we're going to be doing a bit of a live chat talking about You Can't Ask That, the kind of questions that people with alopecia might hear from friends or family or even strangers, and why maybe they are a bit, maybe questions you shouldn't ask. So if everyone would like to introduce yourselves.
Yeah. I'm Jess, I'm the Tasmanian branch manager.
I'm Stacey, I'm a support ambassador.
I'm Liz, I'm the South Australian branch manager.
Cool. So what we're going to be doing is basically we've got a hat with a whole bunch of questions in it. So these were sent in from people in our support groups who have alopecia themselves, or maybe a friend and loved one sharing some questions that have been asked of their kids or their spouse. And we'll just be going through them and reading them, responding, seeing whether we've heard them before ourselves. So, first one up. Are you a boy? I haven't been asked this in years. But I've had alopecia for a really, really long time. And when I was a kid, I'd get asked it all the time.
Mm-hmm. For me, I haven't been asked.
You've only had alopecia more recently, haven't you?
Yeah, so not quite at the 2-year mark yet.
Okay.
So I was already in adulthood before the alopecia started.
Yeah. No, I haven't been asked at all. Like, I was 9, but still, it was kind of slow to start off with though. Like, I didn't lose it all until I was about 15, so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was 30 with a couple of kids, so.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I know that it's something that kids with alopecia or like young girls can get asked, and it can be really like upsetting for them, because especially if they've not necessarily practiced how to respond to comments that they don't really like. So it's something that I've always recommended for people if you've got kids with alopecia, doing some like practicing of like, how might you like to respond if somebody asks you about something. It can really help to prepare them for when those kind of things come up.
Yeah, especially at school and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Who would like to draw from the hat next?
Okay.
You go?
Let's do it. Two joined together. Have you tried this diet, this medication, holistic cure, or yoga? Me personally, it's not so much have you tried this specific, it's more did you try any treatment, would you try any treatment options, not so much around diet or food choices, or definitely haven't been asked if I have tried yoga in regards to my alopecia.
I think it comes from, I've been asked sort of some of those, like, I don't think yoga specifically, but I've been asked, like, have you tried meditation and stuff like that? I think it comes from the misunderstanding that alopecia is caused by stress.
Yeah, it's true. I had the meditation.
Could be that
too,
association.
You know, try and relax more and, you know, don't stress yourself. But because that's what about stress. The first thing people say is it's caused by stress.
Yeah.
So just don't stress.
Yeah, no. And then, like, you stress about how much you're stressed, because apparently you're doing it to yourself. I find, do you find are you trying treatments, are you trying medication, do you find that kind of invasive if people are asking? Or does it come from, like, friends and loved ones?
I don't necessarily think it's invasive. I mean, I think it's just questions is the only way to start to understand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what I choose to do and, you know, even what you three choose to do might be completely different. So for me, I think it's just about those questions help people to understand what options are actually out there.
I think that's actually a really, like, mindful way to think about it. I find I get frustrated. I
And that's the thing, you know, we are so different.
I guess to me, it's just like I have I get eczema and I have asthma and I have other medical things going on. It's just but people don't ask you, oh, are you trying these treatments for it? It's just that's just really, I don't know. I feel like medical things are kind of personal, even though this is obviously so public and I don't wear wigs. So I guess sometimes I then feel well, I invited on myself by not doing things, but
well, I get asked, you know, if I'm trying, and it's usually something specific, and then it's kind of they have the frame of mind that, oh, there's a cure, this is probably it, but there's not.
Yeah. Have you ever been asked if, or been told that there's a cure, but it's something really weird and I think I've heard things like rubbing an onion on your head, or I know that there was a guy at uni who once said that all illness is caused by negativity and bad thoughts, and I was like,
I've got some bad thoughts.
Definitely making it worse, guys. Would you like to pick out of the hat?
Who's next?
I'll go next. Right. Does your husband know you wear a wig? Now that's the perfect one for me. Well, it was my husband who first told me that I had a balding spot on the back of my head, and so we've been now married for 45 years. So I think he should know. And as you can see, he shaved my head last night, so I get him to do those jobs. But I have heard of cases where women do wear wigs to bed, but their husbands know they've got alopecia, but they do wear wigs to bed, and all the time. The husbands have never seen them without a wig, which I I don't know, I find it sad.
Tiring to me, doing that much.
It's pressure put on the wife, but it's also, I think, find it hard that the husband can't accept her as she is, because it's not your how you look, it's the person on the inside, and that doesn't change. You're still the same person on the inside as you were before.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I think all of these questions are, most of them are anonymous, but this one was actually sent in by somebody who we know quite well. I think her comment was we've been married for 18 years and have 5 kids, so yeah, he knows. And I was like, that would be a great wig if it lasted long.
But that's the hardest thing, you know, because you do have to wash your wigs and stuff. So it depends if your husband's around all the time, and if you're working, when do you have the time to do that, you know? And if he wants to see you in a wig, you know, is he happy seeing you with a headscarf or whatever else, you know? It's very difficult.
Especially sleeping with them, they get so irritated.
And they move, and you know, and they don't last as long.
The wig quality.
Exactly, yeah. You don't get your wear on your wig and things like that. So,
I'm imagining it would be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't say I slept in mine, but
No,
I don't
I can't imagine that it would be comfortable.
There we go.
No peeking.
We're all getting nervous.
Is alopecia hereditary? Are your kids sick too? Well, I personally don't have any kids, so who would know? But
it can be.
I've heard it can skip a generation, so you could have it, your children wouldn't have it, but your grandchildren would. But that's just what I've heard.
I feel like the premise of the question, is alopecia hereditary? That's reasonable, but are your kids sick too? I don't think of myself as being sick. It's a medical condition. Yeah, it's an autoimmune disease. Yeah, but I don't think of myself as being unwell. And certainly, if I had family members with it, I wouldn't think that they were sick too.
Yeah, but also,
sorry. Yeah, my paternal grandfather had it. It skipped. Nobody else I know from my father's brothers or sisters. He came from a family of 10. None of them had it, and none of my cousins that I know I've been told that have it, but my eldest daughter's got it. So each of us had a different trigger.
exactly, like within our community, we know that there's parents and then children and then siblings all with alopecia. So,
I mean, even
But then, sorry, on the opposite of that, for me, I'm the only person in my family.
yeah, same.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
But when we went to the conference over in the US, hosted by the National Alopecia Areata Foundation in the USA, there was a couple of identical twins where one had it and one didn't. And
That's right.
so you know that genetics must only be a component of it if there's that cases of that happening.
Yeah.
And yet I've heard of somebody who had alopecia, and they said all the females in every generation had it.
Really?
So it's, that'd be pretty rare, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right,
You're
my
up,
turn.
George.
Oh, no, I'm gonna look up, because otherwise I'll try and shoot. Oh, what a terrible way to phrase a question.
For a minute. I was like,
All right, so the question is, how will you ever find a partner? The normal way, guys. That's. I feel like sometimes questions tell you more about the person asking them than the kind of answer that they're looking for. Like, and I know that there are people with alopecia who feel a lot of tension or feel a lot of stress about dating and relationships and stuff. I've kind of not felt like that. Like, if you were in a relationship with somebody and then you found out that you were sick in some way or had a condition that you didn't know about, like, if they left you because of that, that would be horrendous. So if you are looking to date somebody and they won't date you because you have alopecia, like, sometimes you just have to let the trash take itself out. Like, that's just a self-selection at that point.
I don't think that I would want to be involved with anyone that was that materialistic or shallow.
No, that's right. Yeah, no.
It's got to be. Because you're married, did you have alopecia already?
No, I've got alopecia afterwards. We've been married for 8 years and I've got alopecia.
Was it, I don't want this to be too personal, but was it ever an issue, like, in your relationship?
No, not at all. My husband supported me straight from day one. He sort of said, well, it hasn't changed you. And, I had my highs and lows, and he supported me through my highs and lows. There were times I'd have tears through the hair loss, and as my hair used to come and go. So, and he supported me right through. The kids grew up with me with alopecia, and they always sort of didn't think any different. They'd bring their friends home. Mum, I've got so-and-so coming home, in the door. So, yeah, that's right. Put some hair cover on if you were. Because in those days, sort of not many people knew about it.
Yeah.
These days, more people know about it.
Yeah.
But no, I've had constant support.
Yeah, well, I suppose then it's kind of good to get it over with first up. Like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. Kind of thing.
It's something I've definitely found easier now that I don't wear wigs, like, full time. So I've never had to go through, like, well, I have to tell them or I have to find a time to show them. It's just like, it's all out in the open. And for me, that's been way easier. I know that's not for everybody, and I would never say that everybody should do that, but for me, it's definitely been a lot easier. Good question.
I'll make sure I only get one this time.
Yeah.
Just need a second.
That's not a good sign.
Why did you shave your head like that? It's making fun of people with diseases.
I am a people with diseases.
That's me.
Oh, man.
I've never had a question structured like that. I've definitely been asked the first section, so more not why did you shave your head, but did you shave your head?
Yeah.
Would that be a question aimed at people who've got patches?
Maybe.
And keep their hair like
like yourself.
and
Partial
I've got
growth,
partial growth, and you've got patches. So that could be, aimed at those people.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and that could be the difference, that I have nothing, so
Yeah.
But I get asked occasionally, did you shave your head? And I just say no. Like, my hair loss was not a choice. It was out of my control. And that usually pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. I wonder if sometimes people think that because clearly, like, you don't have hair, but you don't look sick.
Mm-hmm.
So do they go in with the, did you shave your head? So because we're at the annual general meeting, our committee's watching outside and they're sort of passing notes in class now to try and talk about it. But yeah, we should mention that if you'd like to ask any of your own questions, or if you'd like to share if you've been asked any of these or your experiences or how you respond to any of them, please feel free to leave comments. I've got my phone here, I'm keeping an eye on things. So you're very, very welcome to put those questions through. We'll check them again at the end as well, just to make sure it's all going. And yeah, we'll stay in touch. Who are we up to?
Jess has just done her.
Yeah.
Throwing it away now.
Is it that good of question?
Oh, why don't you wear a wig? You look so much better with hair.
Oh.
Now, I wear a wig, so you know, this is for you three girls.
For me, I think it's actually the opposite. If I wear a wig, most of my friends and family are like, you don't even need that. Don't worry about it.
It's delightful. I like that.
It's more strange for me to wear a wig than not have hair. Like,
Yeah, same with me. But most of the time it's because of different times of year. Like in summer it's too hot to wear it. In winter, like it's a bit better because it's a bit chilly. Like if you don't wear a wig, then you kind of need like a beanie or something just to cover up so you don't get sunburned.
I've been sunburnt on my head so many times.
Literally like a week.
Every time I think I learn, and then I realize
Yeah.
you know. I have had like versions of, not from like any friends or family or anything like that, but I guess like when I was at uni, I just started going out without wigs, but I was still doing like nightclubs and socializing and stuff that I realized as
socialize anymore.
No, I'm very much like tea in a book kind of person. But no, but when I was doing like going out to like bars and dancing and stuff like that, and used to interact with a lot more strangers, and I did hear some version of this a few times, and it's always, again, I think like the question tells you more about the person asking it than anything else.
Well, I'd like, you know, you sort of look at it and all the different hairstyles these days, and you've got some that are shaved close to the head on one side, longer on the other. And I wonder if they get asked this type of questions that.
Yeah.
I can tell you that they don't, because my sister's got like the bottom of all hers shaved, and like she never gets questions about it ever. So yeah.
I'm just trying to think of what
I
is
know
come.
one of them, and I know I don't want it. Will you take off your wig and show me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just think so.
I think
In certain situations, no, because like I probably won't want to put it back on, and will you hold it for me around like while I don't wear it
it's
anymore?
like it's really sweaty, guys.
Yeah, I think it's on the situation.
Yeah, it does depend on where you are and what situation you're in. If I'm in public somewhere, you know, say I was in the middle of the street and somebody said, "Well, you take your wig off and show me." I may not, because it's the reactions of the people around you. But if you're in a room somewhere with even half a dozen people, or you go to have a facial or something like that, and somebody will ask you, well, that's a different situation.
Yeah,
I think for me, it's more like if I've just put it on, it's so easy to take it back off again. But if I've been wearing it for a few hours, you just know in your mind that if you take it off, you are not going to get it back in that exact same comfortable spot.
Yeah. When I was wearing wigs, I was kind of wearing them because I wasn't comfortable with my alopecia, and at that point, I did get asked a lot of the time, like if I like tell people about it, they'd be like, "Oh, can you show me?" I'm like, no, not at all. And so I do think it really depends on where the person's at. But like obviously we're all pretty comfortable with it, but I would never recommend assuming that.
No.
Because I feel like the majority of people, I shouldn't say the majority, but a lot of people who wear wigs wear them because they want to wear them and they don't want to like take their hair off to show you.
Everyone's at different stages.
Yeah. Go back around to me.
you.
We've only got a few left.
Oh.
Do you have your phone on you? Because mine is just locked me. That's all right. I just want to double check the comments because mine's just glitched.
Let me just have a little look.
Technical difficulty.
Take two.
That's all right.
Georgia, didn't you, when I first met you at when we were at the hair expo, weren't you showing some people
Yes.
new wigs? So you did actually take it off in public, but that was a different situation.
Yeah, that was so for context. So I've been volunteering with AAAF since I was about 17. The first ever event that I met everybody with was in 2011, and it was really sort of big conference for all sort of like hairdressers and salon owners and stylists. And it was one of my first times really sort of popping my wig on and off and sort of showing how they work. And we were talking about wigs in particular because of the hair donation program, and trying to talk to salon owners about why it's super important. And that process was, I think, a really big part of how I got to be more comfortable without it and kind of being able to do that in like an enclosed space with a specific audience. It felt like appropriate at the time, whereas you know at school or if I was like with friends and stuff, that would have been completely out of this possibility. So it looks like we do have some
I might
questions.
quickly
Do you want
cut
to have
in
those?
just because I have a whole 2%. So let's see how we go.
All right.
So we've been asked, do you all have partners? I do not personally, no.
Currently, no, but like I have previously, yes.
No, but have previously.
Married for 45 years.
You're winning so
One
One
point. Do you go natural for job interviews?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good
When was
question.
my last job interview?
Yeah, I like the same job. Like,
Yeah.
my only real job.
But you tend to wear hair.
I do wear
For
hair.
work?
Yeah,
Um,
but they do know about it.
my
But I
yeah.
do wear it.
Well, I've been in my current position for 15 months. So I started in July of last year, and my alopecia started in the November before. So I was still in the first few stages, first 6-month period. So I did wear a wig to my interview. I wore a wig on my first day. I started at 9 o'clock. By the time it got to 2 o'clock and I was in training, it come off, it went on the table, and I was like, this is what you're going to see every other day but today.
First impressions.
Yeah. Just, I was literally like, I can't do this. And it was so itchy, and I'll never again.
I think it'd be a case of how you feel yourself.
Yeah.
You know, whether you feel comfortable walking into an interview without wearing a wig, or whether you want to wear a wig into the interview and then during the interview tell the person that you have got alopecia areata, explain a bit about it and say, look, there are some days where I may not wear a wig. I don't feel comfortable always wearing one.
That was my
Oh,
conversation.
Yes.
So that actually happened in my interview. And then after I think I maybe tried a couple of days here and there, and now it's the opposite. Like, I come back from getting my new wig and everyone's like walking past me. I'm like, no one knows me anymore.
I think it's been a while since I had a job interview, but I didn't want to wear a wig, and I was still actually I was living with my parents at the time, and my mum actually, we had a bit of a chat where she fairly strongly thought that I should, and I was like, well, I don't wear them like most of the time, and then I'd have to tell them that I don't. Plus, I've got like a whole bunch of my resumes that I volunteer with AAAF, so it kind of is already out
So
there.
it's fun to be kind of in that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What have I got? Next one. Do you get embarrassed going out in public, and how do you respond to people staring at you in public?
I've got like I've mastered the 1,000-yard stare. So like I don't really make eye contact with people when I'm out down the street. And like I'm not like I'm doing this, like I'm not like doing, but like I'm just like I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm direct, but I don't. I kind of self-filtered out because it's easier.
I don't know about you, but like I used to always see the stairs, but now doing what I'm doing, like you said.
Yeah,
I think
don't really feel them as much.
I think for me it was probably once I got to the stage in my alopecia journey of self-acceptance that it's just like at the start did not handle it well. I would be like, what are they staring at? What is going on? Whereas now I'm just like, they're back.
It's really interesting when I'm downtown with like my sister and she's like, what's going on? Because she notices it still.
Yeah. Friends and family.
My mum gets so aggressive. She's so defensive about it. I don't even see it. So she'll be like scowling at people. I'm like, what's wrong?
Any advantages with having alopecia that you can share?
All canvas to draw on. Because we've had head painting done, a henna painting.
And henna crowns.
And they look absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the way I look at it, you've got a ball canvas, you can do anything. Yeah. And some of the things I've seen on some of the different sites on what some of the hairdressers have done, you know, with boys with alopecia, how they shave patterns into their heads to make just the one or two patches look absolutely fantastic. So,
I actually have a huge number of friends that I've met through having alopecia. Like, obviously, the people who are all here, like, we all know each other really well. We deal with some new team members, which hopefully next year they'll be saying the same things. But I think that for me, it's actually opened a lot of doors, and I've actually learnt a lot about myself, and I think a lot about people that I don't think I would have had those experiences.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Also save on hair products.
Where are we up to?
We can jump into water. That's all right. I'll let you have a drink. We probably won't be doing any questions about treatments and treatments and research in this one. We have done some live chats previously with either Shell, our president and founder, who is very knowledgeable about what's happening in research. We've also spoken with a trichologist who can tell you a little bit about research options and how they work. But we probably won't be answering those kind of questions today just because we're getting a lot of questions in. So we just want to...
and we want to make sure that it's, you know, the information around treatments and trials is communicated accurately as well.
Yeah.
So Shell's definitely the best person to answer that.
Yeah, definitely.
And all the same information.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to jump in with our next question from the bag. Can I touch your head? No. This is probably like my defensiveness again. I don't like people touching. My thing is, like, if you wouldn't touch someone's face, then you probably shouldn't touch their head.
And I touched your face because you touched my head.
Yeah, like, I feel like we're friends though.
But you don't go up to somebody that's got hair and say, can I touch your hair?
Yeah.
Or can I touch your hair?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's different if it would be like close family and friends.
Oh yeah.
If it's a stranger, go away. No thanks.
Have you ever been like out and like somebody just touches it?
No.
Oh, it's the worst. I do not recommend it. I've had it not a lot, but so there's one question in here that I really like. How long was it until you were confident to go without a wig or without a scarf?
I think that's a personal question.
How,
you know, for me,
personally, what was it?
I'm just give me a sec. I'm just trying to work out timelines. So November was my first patch. I personally lost my hair in 6 weeks. So I shaved my head was the 1st of January because that's how I welcomed the new year. I wasn't going to sit at home and let it control me. So I think it must have been Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say about January. So it was about 2 months for me.
Oh, man.
But in saying that, mine was very rapid, so I didn't really have much choice. I didn't have that processing time as such. So, as I said, 6 weeks. It was the stage where I had to shave it. Wigs weren't
I'm at
comfortable.
like 13 years, I think.
Yeah.
It took me a long time.
Like it was the middle of summer as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, wigs weren't appealing. Beanies were not an option. I mean, I did a few head scarves and things, but even that, like, it gets so hot. So I was just kind of forced into that position.
I was a bit like you, Georgia. I was only kind of recently, the last couple of years, that I'll like comfortably throw it out. And like if my hair is a brush, then that's like no question. Not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. We'll go through the last couple of questions. Only got a few more in the hat. Oh no!
The one question.
That's the one I do.
The one that I don't know if I can say it without laughing.
Do you want me to read it? Do you want me to read it?
No, I think the camera's reversing.
Okay. I'm bringing it back.
I can do it.
Does the carpet match the dress?
Ah, the worst. This is that you can't ask that. This is the line. Like, you cannot
This
ask
is
that.
the exact reason.
But I will say I have been asked at least a version of
Yes.
that
To be
so
honest,
many times.
Yeah.
to be honest, that's probably out of all those questions here on the table, that is probably the one I've been asked the most.
It's
Um,
so bad.
Some responses probably aren't suitable for here and now. But usually I say, would you walk into a bar and ask someone with hair if they have pubic hair? Would you walk into a restaurant and walk up to someone eating dinner and be like, hey, do you have pubic hair? No, you wouldn't. Like, how is that appropriate?
That's right.
I find it really interesting how people's like barometer for what's appropriate just goes out of the window
Like
when there's something.
a couple subtle questions, and it's like, oh, let's just dive right in there.
And it's something, I have a few friends that are like wheelchair users or have some other like quite visible medical conditions or disabilities, and people just like will go right in with these incredibly personal questions, and it's just like, why would you do that?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't ask that. That's
Do not
the one.
ask that.
All right, we've got 2 more, so ready to go.
Right. Are you contagious? Well, that would be, I suppose, it's not so much adults asking that, it'd be more children asking that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because,
Or very oblivious.
yeah, I suppose.
I've mostly heard it from kids, and I will say there's very few questions from kids that would like annoy me, because it's like, they don't know that often. So
Just the inquisitive part of their brain.
yeah,
That's right,
exactly.
yes.
This is
They're
slightly
just curious.
different. Why?
And especially if they're like, well, you say it's a disease. I know about like getting a cold or like a stomach bug. So is it like that? Like, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
But like, if you get it from adults and that, it does feel very like othering.
Like with children, it's
Yeah.
acceptable.
Yeah.
They're just curious. They just like literally just want to know.
Exactly.
But with adults, it's like
Not.
you're an adult.
It's not coming from a place
Did
of
you think
ignorance.
about that before
Yeah.
you answered it?
That's actually, I think, probably the takeaway from this whole thing. Did you think about that before you asked it?
30 seconds. All
All right.
Lucky
final
last.
question.
I'm trying to think
I
what
can't
might be
remember.
left.
Oh.
We actually we did say we hope this was
It was
last.
last, yes, because that was the one we first
Yeah,
answered
before
when
our
we had the
technical
glitch.
error.
But
Yeah.
it's, do you have cancer? Which we actually
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've been asked this so many times.
Yeah.
So many times.
Yeah.
It's really, really common. Yeah?
Yeah, quite a number of times as well, and I think that's just because, let's be honest, hair loss is usually associated.
With cancer.
cancer.
Or wearing a scarf is associated with
Yeah.
cancer
Head
as
wear.
well. Yes.
Yeah.
Even a scarf, like more than a beanie. It's weird
that's
that the
right.
stereotype is like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I find it interesting, like these days there's, not to say that people don't lose their hair from hairspray, they absolutely do, but we know that alopecia affects up to 2% of the population at some point in their life. And the rates in how cancer treatment's changing, like, though cancer is extremely common and such a big problem, a lot less people lose their hair from it now than
Yes, they can
ever
go through
before.
chemo, and a lot of people I've known have gone through chemo and haven't lost their
There's
hair.
been
It might
a
have
huge amount
been
of research
or something.
Yeah.
to get towards that. So it does feel a little bit like there should be a lot more awareness that there are other reasons that people can lose their hair, for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's other like conditions. as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
not just
absolutely.
like there's not just alopecia and from cancer treatments. There's a
Yeah.
whole variety
Huge
of
range of things that can cause hair loss.
conditions. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's one of the things, like when we get people contacting us that they have, a patch of hair loss, they're like, oh, they've just got a first patch of hair loss but haven't had it checked or been diagnosed, and they'll come straight to the foundation. It's like you should always get that checked out because there are so many different things
That's
that
right.
it could be. But I think the assumption that any hair loss is cancer, it can be a bit frustrating to me. That
I
Yeah.
just feel
I feel awkward
yeah,
because
I
I
don't
don't
wanna
want to be
say-
offensive to
Yeah,
people
yes,
that's the
with
thing,
cancer.
you know.
right, yeah.
I, with alopecia, can live my life as I please. I don't have side effects. I don't have in health. I can literally live each day as I please, and I think that's what I'm conscious of when that question comes up.
yeah, very much so.
Alopecia changes our lives to a lot of different ways, but it's not something like cancer can
not
be life-threatening.
Yeah.
Alopecia isn't
Yeah.
life-threatening.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
All right.
Like there might be other conditions associated with it. Or like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I will really quickly just check on our chat, but I think we are about done.
I feel like we've. Oh God.
Thanks everybody for your questions and comments. There's a lot more coming through. If there's any that we haven't responded to here in the chat, we will get in touch in the comments. If you're watching this after we've finished going live, you're very welcome to leave your comments and questions there. If you've heard any of these questions yourself, please let us know.
Yes.
I'd love to know how other people respond to them, because I think we really do learn from each other and different ways of handling these kind of misinformation or maybe rude comments.
Yes.
you,
All right.
you
Yeah.
can't ask that.
No. All right. Thank you so much, everybody who's tuned in or is watching us later. We will see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye.